Rap and Reason podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. All right, we're back at it again for another episode of Rap and Reason podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins. What's going down?
How you feeling, bro? What's new?
Man, I feel good, man. New workout routine, bro. We're gearing up for the half marathon in March, man. So we
You
getting
all
together.
in.
Yeah. I ran, 11 and a half miles yesterday. I'm going to feel this knee pain until next week. I already know. But hey, you got to get
Uh,
to it. It's never easy, baby. It's never easy.
11 miles.
Yeah, 9-minute pace, bro. I did all right. I did all right, man. But we gonna, tighten
Nice.
things up around or before the spring arrives. So yeah, man, this was a good start to that training, man. But otherwise, bro, everything is good. Work week smooth. Got a few projects I'm excited about coming up in the near future. So yeah, man, all things are pointing north, bro. What about you?
Dope, man. Good to hear. Good to hear, man. Same, man. I'm on the health kick to start off the year too, man. I've been in the gym more. Um, trying to do better portion control for food. You know what I mean? Drop a few pounds. But yeah, I ain't running. I'm not gonna tell that lie. But I'm lifting more. I'm doing more cardio. Yeah, man. On the same type time, man. I'm trying to start off 2026 the right way. It's been good, man. What you do to bring in the new year?
Man, I really just did nothing. And to me, that's all I wanted, bro. I
Let me tell
wanted
you.
a smooth,
Hey,
chill, good food, clean eats, like chill vibe type of like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So it was cool. Kicked it with some friends, man. But just kept it low key, man. Because I
nice.
know like for the year to come and the many years to come, like what I have going on or what I'm trying to do, bro, will be something not only just a resolution for 2026, but beyond that. So I'm content. And plus, my birthday around the corner, so I usually save up a few dollars, few moments, reserve that for January 12th anyway. So that's what I'll do. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dope, man. Yeah, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a big year, man. For those who do not know, we have a lot of things coming out this year, but one big one being Raps of Resistance. How Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole reignited a hip hop tradition is publishing under Bloomsbury Academic, and that'll be rolling out May 14th. It's on pre-order now everywhere the books are sold. So if you have not ordered a copy, make sure that you go and purchase yours today. One of the dopest. I'm only saying one of the just to be humble one of the dopest hip hop
Yeah,
books ever, man. So yeah, man, make sure y'all get that, man. This is a it's a game changing book for sure.
for sure, man. All right, what topics do we have for the week, man? This is a big one too. A lot was
This
happening.
is this is a big one, man. This is episode 72. We got a lot of things that we need to get to. One of which being we got new Doechii music that we'll talk about.
Hmm.
We'll hint at the some of the Doechii drama that's going on in the
Hmm.
world, but we want to really focus on the music. So Doechii has some new music out. 50 Cent versus Fab, man. There's been some new music that's rolled out there. That's a beef I didn't see coming. Very
At
random.
all.
But there, if it brings some dope music and some bars, I'm with it. ASAP Rocky dropped. We'll talk a little bit about Russell's new initiative that he's doing
Yeah.
online. And then we'll do a throwback review, man. We're gonna review a old school Fab song, and then we really want to talk about hip hop biopics and artist biopics, and which one, what we think about the ones that have been done. What do we think should be done? Which artists should have a biopic about their lives? And yeah, man, those are some of the things that we really want to dive deeper into on this episode, man. Where you want to start?
Man, let's start with new Doechii, man. Yeah.
New Doechii, man. For those who do not know, Doechii is a newer. She's been around for a while, but I
Yeah.
still would say newer artist.
Hmm.
Um, Dope, man. We've given her a lot of praise for her talent on this podcast, specifically, especially her last projects.
Yeah.
Alligator Bites Don't Heal. Is that that's her
Yep.
name,
You
right?
got it.
Okay,
Yep.
there we go. Alligator Bites Don't Heal, which was a dope project.
Yep. Top to bottom.
Very dope. Very dope project. She's extremely dope lyrically, but she's kind of been more so doing, I would say, more media stuff lately than dropping new music. So it was dope for me to see that she dropped a new joint. It's called "Girl Get Up" featuring SZA. What were your thoughts when you first heard this record?
Man, she was spazzing, bro. This dropped like what was it? December 30th. So like right
Yep.
before the New Year's really E plans got into full gear, right? So I'm like, what made her drop a record at this random time period? You know what I mean, to close out the year. When I heard it, it made all the sense in the world, bro. First of all, this is a dope record. SZA and Doechii, man, that's a collab that's always going to do numbers in my mind. You know what I mean? It's just they just got like a musical chemistry you really can't replicate. And so when I heard it, heard her bars, I'm like, hold on, bro. Like because
Yeah.
she's been on tour, because Alligator Bites Don't Heal dropped over a year ago, people forget like she could really rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And she
for sure.
was answering all the criticism that she's received over that stretch period of time. And I loved it, bro. Like I felt like she was really just rapping, bro. And it's good to hear Doechii in that pocket. You know, she's in her pop-ish lane here and there, like on a number of records. But I love when she just gets, puts her head down and just gets to the bars, bro. So she killed this. Like she killed this.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I didn't know what to expect with this record. Just by the title, "Girl Get Up" and featuring SZA, I don't know why I was expecting more of an R&B ish record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But dope. No, she was getting to it, man. She was rapping on here, rapping well. And like you said, she had a lot to say. And I think that she was able to address a lot of the criticisms she's gotten. More specifically, a lot of criticism she's gotten over being an industry plant.
Yeah.
A lot of people have thrown around that title, which is interesting to me. I understand why somebody could come up with that just because she's bigger than her music is at this stage of her
Yeah.
career. But at the same time, like, isn't that mean her, does that mean her label is doing their job well? Like, I don't know. I feel like she's like your label's job is to push you and to put you in front of people constantly. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So if I think she's too talented to have that title, but I know that that's a common criticism. She addressed it well on here. I feel like, and I think the song overall is dope, even
It's
outside
dope.
of her addressing some of the haters or critics. I'll say, I think that she was rapping, and that's what I really want to hear. Like I'm not the biggest fan, as you people listeners of this show probably know, of pop music in general. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. I'm not. So like some of her more pop songs don't appeal to me, but when she's in this bag and rapping,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
all
all
in.
in, man.
I
Yeah.
think she's one of the nicest out right now for sure.
For sure, hands down. And like one aspect that, of course, like me being, because I am a fan of her music, I'm not gonna lie, I did criticize her for being an industry plant. But to your
I remember
point,
we
though,
talked. I remember we
yeah,
talked about it on here. We talked about the idea of it, which I can get why somebody would think that
I would get why. And like this
because
is
she's
coming
in.
from, yeah, this come from someone who heard her back in, when did Love for Rent come out? It's Smino's album, 2022. So that's how far back I heard of her. But like considering all the success and how it felt like it happened so quickly, like yeah, like I could see why someone would think that she was somewhat of an industry plant. But you can't call her an industry plant in the same breath and then deny the talent that's there. Like we didn't do
You're
that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did it feel like her
Yeah.
career was a little bit accelerated? Yes, but that's because she's under the TDE umbrella, bro. Like,
Yep.
yeah, like it's a
I mean,
trusted brand and record label and just camp that we know is going to produce great music and great artists. She happens to be the newer one of, you know what I mean, their offerings. So of course it was a little accelerated in our minds, but like ultimately she's talented as heck, bro. And plus, what I love from this song is, yo, she got an album. She got an album. She talking about the album was done 6 months ago or is 6 months old. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention for 2026 as a look ahead, bro. I'm looking for Doechii to become an even bigger global star or a global star in general. And I think like if she's going to drop the album in it, at some point in 2026, I think she's going to fulfill that desire that I had last
yeah.
episode. So we shall see.
And
If she rapping like this, she definitely will.
100%. And with the industry plan thing, man, I think that my viewpoint on it, while I say I understand the perspective,
Mm.
I started thinking deeper about it, and I was like, we really have to define what an industry plant means. Was Justin Bieber an industry plant?
That's a good question. I see where you're going with it. I see where you're going with it. Yeah.
Was
Some would say yes.
was NSYNC an industry plant?
A lot of people would say no, but they could say yes.
Was Taylor Swift an industry plant?
Yes. But they won't say it though. Why?
But
Why?
because they got discovered by somebody who pushed the button to make them stars. You know what I mean? So for some reason, in hip hop, we look at it differently.
Mm,
And I think a lot of it is just internet trolls who we'll
I
get
think
to
so
it in a
too.
little bit, who are just saying things. But I think that um everybody doesn't necessarily have that. I grinded of, I have to make 5, 6, 7 studio albums before I'm a superstar. That's not a lot of people's trajectory.
Right.
Some people see their talent and decide to invest heavily into their talent. You know what I mean? I know she made music long before this project, but I'm just saying that clearly TDE is invested in her as an artist, and they see superstardom in her future. So they've decided to push the button and invest heavily into her career, which I don't think that's a negative thing. And
Exactly.
I and I don't think when other pop stars and other stars in general rise to prominence, even if 50 Cent was 50 Cent an industry plant, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he had a bunch of mixtapes, but Eminem and them pushed the button. Eminem and Dre pushed the button and was like, yo, we're investing heavily into 50 Cent and we're gonna make him a superstar. You know what I mean?
100%.
So
And I need to know what's the timeline too. I want to defining what is an industry plan. I also want a timeline. Like, is there a time period in which you become like a Grammy winner that you're then now labeled a industry plan? Like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently she's
the only
been
thing I've
signed since the late 2010s or whatever to TDE, and they developed her over several years. So by
correct.
that definition, she really isn't an industry plan. It just seemed like when she dropped, she went here, even though the
Yeah,
numbers didn't necessarily back up like the trajectory that she was on. But
I
like,
agree.
I don't know. We need a more solid definition of industry plans. I agree.
Right, right, and that's what I would say. I think that maybe it's bad. Like, maybe that is what it is. Maybe it's because they don't feel like her album is as big as the push she's getting. But
Yeah.
like I said, if there's a label who's investing in you, it does. I mean, it is what it is. That's business. You know what I mean? If they're investing in making you a star, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna invest in making you a star. But if it's a talented person, I don't see that as a problem. I
Yeah.
think when I think of industry plan, I think of the people who are untalented, who
Yeah.
somebody pushes the button on, who are not good.
Like a bad
I
baby.
could think
Or
of a,
yeah.
I can name a few more, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm sure
You
we can
name a
all
lot.
think of some people who became really, really famous, who had no talent, didn't even have a huge breakout song initially, and
Right, right. Like if you're gonna argue about Doechii's album or mixtape sales, we still don't know. But if you argue that, you can't deny the fact that like her songs were still big. Like Denial is a River, Anxiety, bro. Them they went diamond on social media, so that means something.
yeah,
That does mean something. That does add to your mystique or your stardom in a way. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely
And like I said, she making good music. So if you're making good
talented.
music,
Yeah,
then I'm cool with it. I would rather labels push the button on talented artists.
you
So
know.
I
Yeah,
would. That's who I think they should be investing in. To be honest, we would have more good music out. So I'm with it.
I'm with it. So looking forward to this album, man. Definitely.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Dope record, man. Highly recommend checking it out. Girl Get Up featuring SZA. All right. Now, on top of that, there is a little other drama surrounding this, and we won't dive too deeper into this, but a streamer, a very popular streamer,
Hmm.
has gone on record and has not criticized Dochi's music, which I think nobody should be mad at people criticizing art. I think once you're an artist and you put art out, it should be criticized. Some people will praise it, some people will criticize. I think that comes with the territory of being an artist. But who's decided to really call her derogatory things, borderline racist things.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, some people from her team and camp have really stood up for her in a strong way. And I
Hmm.
love to see it, man. I love to see it. I love to
Absolutely.
see it.
Yeah, I love to see it, bro. And like you said, bro, it's not even we're not even being fair here. We're like, bro has this streamer has a personal issue with her for whatever reason, and trying to like denigrate her as best he can with his millions of followers and whatever his minions, right? Ultimately, bro, it's not gonna work. Talent is gonna shine through, and on top of that, like I love to see the fact that, especially like folks in her camp, LA dudes, you know what I'm saying, are standing up for her, who also have big followings on top of that, or just influence. I think is important because it doesn't seem like they're doing it just to gain notoriety themselves. You know how some people be like defending folks just to get their own viewership up. I don't see that. I
Hmm.
see people actually standing up for her in a real way. And
Yep.
even on the industry plant tip too, like they definitely are like, no, 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 like this ain't that, bro. If anything, you're an industry plant. Like why
Wh-
you're supporting and backed by Drake, especially with you saying the stuff that you saying about a black woman, mind you. Nah, otherwise, honestly, he should be out of here. I don't even know why people follow this dude, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. So, clowns,
clown.
clowns, man. It's a circus out here. You know what I mean? And but I love seeing that people are standing 10 toes down and calling out some of that goofy behavior and calling out the people who stand behind people who exhibit the goofy behavior.
100%. Yeah, because they deserve
Yeah,
criticism too, bro. Like,
absolutely.
yeah, man. Nah,
Yeah, absolutely. Chapter 7 of Raps of Resistance.
absolutely.
Um, for sure. Man, on another note, man, we got some bars and some battling going on.
Yeah, we do. We do.
As of
Be
right now, it's only on one side. For those who do not know, there's been a little back and forth between the Let's Rap About It podcast, which consists of um, very popular, well-renowned MCs. You know what I mean? Fabulous, Jim Jones. Who am I missing?
Mano and
No,
Davies.
Mano, Mano, and Davies have a podcast called Let's Rap About It. They've had some back and forths with 50 Cent,
Mm,
mostly on social media and whatnot, throughout the time. And one thing that I love that happened out of all of this, instead of just doing the social media back and forth, the Let's Rap About It podcast actually rapped about it. You know what I mean? And they decided to put out a joint called Squatters' Rights, which is funny because 50 Cent made a claim that they were squatting in the podcast studio that they were in, which is hilarious.
yeah,
And they put out a freestyle. Now, everybody else's verses were mild to me. I think
very
that there
much.
was one very mild. The one that stood out was Fab's verse.
Yes.
Um, for those who are not familiar, the young people who are tuned in who do not know who Fabulous is. Fabulous is a very respected New York lyricist. You know what I mean? Who gets busy. A lot of
Yes.
people praise him for his outfits just as much as his bars. I pay more attention to the bars, me personally, because I'm
Yeah.
an adult man. But but I do see the social media postings about you know what I mean. His outfits, I feel like get just as much attention as his music
No, they do.
sometimes.
They do though.
Yeah, for certain. But um, yeah, man. What did you think about the freestyle?
No, the freestyle, bro. Fab reminded everybody why he is who he is, bro. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? It's that simple. Bro was in his bag. You would have thought he was like on the ghetto fabulous tip. No, 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 not even that. The soul, the mixtape era Fab,
Oh,
like
wow,
no more
different.
competition Fab. Like he was in
Soul
that.
tapes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, bro. He went crazy, bro. Started, yo, your hot showers or whatever, golden showers or whatever. I'm like, bro, ain't he funny? And that's the thing that I love about Fab, bro. The way because he's a smooth rapper, right? But he's able to weave in these cultural of the moment trendy things, but make it sound cool and not corny or like not, you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
dope. So this verse, man, in such a short period of time, he made such a dent and he outshined everybody else's freestyle. I don't even know why they even. I only listen to his part at a certain point because I'm like, I don't need to hear the whole thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, Fab body this, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, no. Fab's verse was different, man. I think he definitely reminded people of how lyrical he is. A lot of the digs at 50 Cent were subtle but not subtle. And I
yeah,
thought that that was dope. Like there was a lot of innuendos and a lot of he used a lot of 50 Cent song lyrics from
yeah,
Window Shopper to in different bars, which I thought was dope. Yeah, Fab, it was a strong verse.
yeah,
Strong verse. Highly recommend checking it out. I think that it was a standout verse for sure. And I think that Fab is one of those ones, man. I think he doesn't often get credit because I think not even I think, but most of Fab's biggest hits aren't super lyrical.
yeah. They're not.
A lot of his girl lovey dovey hip hop records were super mega hits.
Yeah,
Kind of like Ja Rule in that way, where
yeah,
it's like their records that were more R&B adjacent
Mhm.
rose, to prominence so quickly that I think a lot of people who the casual listeners of hip hop who know Fab, they might know some of his hits and not know some of his mixtape records. And then I think people like myself like his mixtape stuff more than they even like the
Yeah,
other, his
a
more
lot
popular
more.
records. A
Yeah,
lot more. You know what I mean? And I think that people forget that Fab can rap for real. You
like
know what I mean? And
real, real.
for
Yeah,
real, for real, for one of the nicest. So I think he proved it here, man. Do we want to hear 50 Cent respond?
I personally don't. I don't, bruh. I don't. I don't care for. I don't look at 50 Cent as this is gonna sound crazy. I don't look at 50 Cent as a rapper anymore. I look at him as like a
Really?
business mogul, entertainer. I don't really look at him as a rapper. Like, yo, this might be the first time I ever say this. I'd rather you just go on a social media binge, just go crazy saying funny memes, all that AI generated jokes. Like, that's honestly what I would want to see from 50 Cent. Not to say that he couldn't bar up, but I just don't really see him going against like 4 or 5 dudes at one time and holding his own at a certain point. Like I personally don't see it. Nah. Mm,
But I'm gonna be honest, man. Usually that is my take typically with
mm,
50 Cent because we haven't heard him really rap in a minute. You know what I mean?
mm,
But because I know 50 Cent's past with beefs in
mm.
rapping, and 50 Cent used to be nice. Like
Really nice.
I don't
Yeah.
think I think sometimes we forget that because of how much other stuff he's done. But
Hmm.
50 Cent was nice.
Yeah.
Like now I don't think he could be Fab, and I don't think he's nowhere near as lyrically as nice as Fab, me personally. But I want to see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Yeah.
want to get in the booth. I want to see. I don't want to see no more Instagram posts. I don't want to see no more memes.
Yeah.
I think Fab rapped. Fab didn't do no social media. Fab rapped. So I, so I,
Mm.
I want to hear you rap. And I don't know, and I don't think he needs to go at everybody. A lot of the other verses, whether you're talking about Jim Jones, Davies, if they were about 50, they weren't direct.
Mm.
Fab's verse was very direct, and there was no denying that he was dissing 50 in his verse.
100.
So
If
I
they're
and I think his verse is the one that's being praised and has gotten the most attention. So I don't even think he should diss everybody else. I think he should just talk about 50. I mean,
yeah,
just talk about Fab. That's it.
yeah, and in that room, respectfully, I think Fab is the most successful of the artists. Not that that like
Absolutely.
matters necessarily, but he's also probably the most lyrical. So it makes sense. He has the highest profile. Him and 50 Cent, that like musical exchange will feed generations, bro. Yeah. So if we gonna see it, if he's gonna respond, I'd rather it be with Fab or to Fab.
Oh, absolutely. I think just Fab. You know what I mean? Because I mean, mind you, Dave East is nice,
He's
but
really nice. Yeah.
Dave East is like that too. But I think that Dave East is from a different generation, so I just
Exactly.
I just don't think I don't. Fab and them came out around the same time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Fab came out first, but you know what I mean. They're both 2000s rappers, so I think that it makes more sense.
It makes more sense, man. Look at what we are in hip hop, bro. Like we're talking about dudes over 25 years plus in the game having this big a moment in hip hop. This is the stuff I love to see, bro. Like we're
Yes,
we're removing the ageism within rap. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like, and it's reasons like this.
Absolutely, man. And I think it's dope, man. And one of the things I like about hip hop now that we're starting to see is they're getting back to just rapping. Like we don't need no
Yeah.
violence. Like nobody thinks Fab is gonna run down on 50 or 50 gonna do nothing. Like
Mm-mm.
this is just rap. You know what I mean? And I think that that's also a beautiful thing because that's what I like. I've said it on this podcast before. I am a fan of battle rap. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
watch URL Smack, TBL now, all of that stuff. I'm always locked in with all that stuff. So I like that. That is an element of the culture that I've always loved.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing over wax. Like I want to see y'all get busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think 50 stands a chance. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't
But
think he does. I think he's too rusty. And this isn't a situation to shake the rust off for.
not Fab. No,
No,
no.
no, 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 no. Because
I
he's
definitely.
ready.
I think it could go. I think it could go bad for him fast. But I also think 50 Cent is a crash out and don't care.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but he's also calculated. So he might think like, I don't know if I could do this one. You know what I mean?
yeah. And
I don't know if him and Lloyd Banks are still cool, but he if so, You might need to send Lloyd Banks.
Yo, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be
Lloyd,
mad at that at all.
Lloyd Banks is nice.
Yeah, man. Uh, s- we talked real rap. Let's um do a detour for a second, bro. ASAP Rocky's Punk Rocky came out strong detour, bro.
Why you
Um,
violate? Why you violate my man?
yo, and
Yeah.
the video was dope. I don't know if you saw the video. It had Winona Ryder of Stranger
Oh, see, I didn't know
Things.
there was a video. I
Yeah,
just listened to. I just listened to the song. I didn't even see the video. Maybe the video would have made me like it more.
no. I don't think so. But yo, either way, man, this is leading up to Don't Be Dumb, ASAP Rocky's long anticipated, long awaited album, follow up to Testing, which came out in 2018, believe it or not. So we're talking about an 8 year window. What did you think about this record when you heard it?
Where do we start? So okay. You always start with love. I thought that I thought that I don't think that the song is awful.
Mm.
Just on surface level, if I heard it like in a commercial or in a movie, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, this is an awfully produced song."
What a bar. It's not awful, is what you starting with.
That's the best I got, bro. It's
Crazy.
not awful, but I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not really what I want to hear from ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
I do want to see punk rock come back. I just don't want to see ASAP Rocky doing it.
Mm.
And I don't think the song was well written either. I think that it was very like it was kind of cheesy. It was very
Mhm.
I don't want to love anymore. My heart. It was just didn't like it, to be honest. As far as I didn't like the lyrics, I thought that the beat was even kind of mediocre. I did like I said, I really do want to see a rock resurgence. I feel like um the y'all let rock die and I don't like it. So I do think rock needs to make a resurgence. But I don't want to hear ASAP Rocky do it. So I hope the whole album is not this. Because yeah, I didn't enjoy it. It's not a song I'll ever return to. I see what he was trying to do. I just don't know why he was trying to do it. And I don't know, and maybe it'll make sense in the greater scheme of the album.
Yeah.
But maybe the album is this is just like a detour in the rest of the album, and the rest of the album isn't gonna sound punk rockish or alternative rockish.
Mm.
But yeah, I wasn't impressed by it. What you think?
Nah, I liked it. I actually liked it, bro. Now,
Really?
yeah, I did. I like the vibe of the record. Like it was one of those records similar to how I used to view punk rock to an extent, like in the early mid aughts. You know what I'm saying? Early 2010s and whatnot. I didn't really look at it for lyrical substance. It was more of a feeling, you know. So I felt good listening to this record. I think the music video may have helped though. Me kind of get into like the mind state of where he was at and just the inspiration for the record. But nah, I like it. Would I
Really?
return to it? That's to be seen. But like as far as like what the vibe is, I liked it. It's actually kind of in line with some Rocky songs, like especially from At Long Last ASAP, like the album before his last
Really?
one. Yeah, it
I didn't
is.
hear it. Maybe I got to listen to it again. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, what I
I
like
heard
about
it.
ASAP Rocky
I heard
is
an attempt at an emo rock song. Is what I
yeah,
heard. I
like
heard.
LSD is an emo rock song. Like he has like other like rock inspired songs too. He used to work with this dude who I believe his name Joe Fox, who was a guitarist. But yeah, man, it's in line with him. That's why I like ASAP Rocky when he is focused on music because he really delves into the experimental. And I think this was like his interpretation of punk rock. It sounds like an interpretation, though. To your point, though, I get it does sound like kind of like a watered down or just lesser quality punk rock song. But for what it is and what I imagine Don't Be Dumb the album to be, I think I'll like it more in the context of the album, or it could be like a standout in a bad way. So we just got to see on January 16th what it'll shake up to be. But
Yeah.
for what it is, I like it. Yeah.
And see, I the part I disagree with is I actually do when punk rock was popping. I actually did go to punk rock songs for lyrics. Like when I think of
Mm,
Green Day, like their songs are well written. Like
mm,
Boulevard of Broken Dreams and 21 Guns and all these songs that
yeah.
Green Day came out with during that time were well written songs. They
Mm,
weren't just the beats were great and the instrumentation was nice, but what they were saying was still potent. This when I was listening to it, I just didn't really. I didn't leave with anything. I didn't leave like, oh, this made me feel anyway. I don't know. I don't know. All right, we you got one of the hosts to like this. This is good. This is
Yo,
good.
and I asked people that I know in my circle, and I'm like, yo, how do you feel about this? They were like, I don't know how to feel. Like, I just want to know what's next because he dropped Taylor Swift last year. He had that record on Lowest to Highest, or what was that?
Highest lowest, yeah.
Highest to
That
Lowest.
joint trunk. That one was hard.
That one was hard. So it's I'll say this: if the whole album is
I wish he
punk
was going
rock,
more in that direction.
yeah, exactly. And if the whole album is punk rock s, you're gonna lose me. By song three probably. But if it's like a mixed bag on like At Last Long ASAP like esque, where it's kind of like a medley of different genres, but the core of it is still rap, then I'll probably like the album. But we just gotta see. But yeah, for what this song is, what this offering is, if it's just a one off versus like a whole
Yeah.
concept, then we'll just have to see, man. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have to see.
And if he's gonna take a stab at a rock album, I just hope you're um one thing the rock doesn't get enough credit for, in punk rock specifically,
Mm-hmm.
is it's more rebellious music. Like, so a lot of the lyrics on a lot of those songs, they're saying a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not at least the good bands that I like during that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I just hope I hope the subject matter is dense. If you're gonna make an attempt at this, it gotta really be, or this could be bad. This could be
yeah,
bad.
yeah. So
I hope he rapping on this album. I just don't know who asked for an ASAP Rocky Rock album. I just don't know who asked for that. You know what I mean?
bro, and and not to detour too much further or to any further, but I want to see some growth lyrically. I know like that's asking a lot, right? For ASAP Rocky, but what I mean is his flow has been the same since 2012, bro. Can we switch it up? Like that's all I want, bro. Like the same
Yeah.
cadence, same tonality, everything. I just want to see because it's been 8 years since his last album, bro. That album was not great. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't
Mhm.
good. It's probably my least favorite project, mixtape, and album of his. Period. So I want to see some actual growth. Like I know ASAP can rap a little bit too.
Oh,
Um,
ASAP could. I've always thought ASAP could rap.
and he can rap, but like as far as his flow, like he's very. The thing with him is he's very limited. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, and he's relying on great production, and
Always.
collaborations to really get his songs to really pierce through. But I want to see like
Yeah.
some growth lyrically and some depth from him. You know what I mean? As far as
I,
the
I
songwriting aspect. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I think that it worked well because of how great his production was early on, and he had a unique style.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's been stagnant. I don't think that the messaging has changed.
Mm-mm.
And I'll even say the rapping I feel like has devolved. Like I think it's got. I think he's not even rapping as good now as he was rapping then.
I
So to
agree.
me, it's like, yeah, I'm with you on that one. So hopefully we get on this album, man. We'll definitely be reviewing it. You got one of us to like it.
Yeah,
I
man.
that I was not expecting that.
Yeah, man. Interesting. Speaking of albums, Russell, man, he has an album sale goal of 100,000 independent sales by the end of January, bro. That is a high mark, but hey, it's not impossible, especially with the payment method, man. Ain't it pay what you can? That's the
Hey, well,
payment
yeah,
method.
absolutely. So, Russell, for those who are not familiar, independent artist out of the Bay Area, who has really been moving the needle a lot when it comes to independence and hip hop. From offering fans of his music to be able to buy stock in the songs and actually be able to own a piece of the royalties was innovative. But also, even on top of that, just the way he's decided to utilize social media and the amount of music he's rolled out. He's rolling out, an album every few months at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is very different. And I think that, man, I think that this rollout is dope. I think that I've it's pay as you want, so you can pay. I'm sure they have a minimum. I'm not sure. I haven't looked on
I
it
think it's
yet.
99 cents. Yeah.
Okay, so 99 cent is the minimum, and then you can go all the way upward. I saw that he posted that Kyrie Irving bought bought um bought a copy of it for 11,000. I think Snoop bought a copy of it for like 5 grand.
Yeah.
So it's dope that a lot of other artists and entertainers and people who are really respect his art enough and what he's doing with pushing independence forward to really contribute in that way. So yeah, it's a very very difficult goal to get to in an era where people have been conditioned to not purchase music.
Yeah. Yeah.
um like we have all been, streaming has conditioned us to not buy music, and to not value music in a way where you want to actually spend tangible money on the music, and which is unfortunate. So
Yeah.
I think that for him to in that climate still have people who are willing to pay for his art, I think is dope.
It's dope, man.
And I'm definitely gonna buy it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm definitely gonna be purchasing it as well.
For sure. I'm definitely supporting just because I just love what he does as far as independent artistry goes, bro. Like for him to like do the things that he's done, especially this long, and how he's built an organic fan base, you know what I'm saying? And a following, bro. I love to see that. It's actually inspirational in a lot of ways. There's been mad interviews, clips I've listened to of Russell outside of the music where I'm like, bro just is a visionary. And you just gotta like any way
Absolutely.
I can support him, I'm gonna support him and I encourage everyone else to do the same. For sure.
I 100%. And it's crazy. Like even one of my older bros out in Cali, like that's not even it's not even in his bag of music that he listens to. But one day he went to one of Russell shows when Russell was out in San Diego and was like, "Yo, I'm a fan now." He was like, "Just going to his show made me a fan." You know what I mean? And
Fire.
didn't know his music beforehand, had
Wow.
no idea who he was, nothing.
Yeah.
Like so just that idea of somebody who's, and my guy out there is like almost 50, you know what I mean? Like 48, 49, you know what I mean? So if you could bring somebody like that, and if you could have somebody almost 50 who loves your music and then have kids who love your music,
Hmm.
is as an independent artist, that's no simple feat. So yeah, shout out Russell, man. Definitely continuing to be innovative. And I think he's gonna make the goal, man, because I don't think he's gonna sleep until he does.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna stop posting until he does. So I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it, man. Yo,
And I'm
Russell.
interested to see what that final number is going to look like for how much he's made with people with that proud to pay business model. I'll be interested to see what that final number looks like, because if you got some people who may only pay $1, but you got some people paying 100, 200, 500, 1,000. Um, I'm going to be interested to see what that number looks like that he's actually grosses from making that goal. Like that's going to
Yeah,
be crazy.
it's gonna be crazy. It gotta be crazy, bro. Cause yeah, who else? Big Sean bought like I think maybe 10,000 or spent maybe 10,000 plus.
Nice.
Kyrie and him, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, and it reminds me in a lot of ways. I'm sure you're aware of the Nipsey Hussle mixtape sale that he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when he sold
Yes.
Crenshaw for $1,000, and then Jay Z
Yes.
bought 10,000 or 10 albums, I think $10,000 worth of Nipsey's project. So yeah, I love that where we've evolved to within hip hop, where we're seeing this independent route continue to blossom, bro. So yeah, man, let's support Lil Russell.
And absolutely, and putting not letting people put a limit on what your art is worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know what streaming model, is, not even a penny. You know what I mean? That these artists are making from their music. So
Mhm.
I think that it's beautiful to see people paying for art in this way. So yeah, yeah, yeah,
100%.
dope, dope, man. Shout out to Russell. We'll continue to follow what you're doing. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure I buy one. I've also, and I think you said you have too, but I've also, what I mean, I bought stock of songs of Russell's that I like just because of out of support for his music and what he's doing. And I think he's pushing the needle forward in as far as hip hop independence, which is what we really need.
100%. 100%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else we got, man?
Throwback review, man. We got Fabulous's Ghetto Fabulous, man. I think this was his debut album, 2001, 25 years old, which is crazy that we landed on that anniversary, bro. But
Yeah,
yeah, dog. Like, and in some people's eyes, this is a classic, and other people's eyes, it's a great entry point into Fab, who would then, become a star within hip hop. So what did you think when you heard Ghetto Fabulous? Take me back to the time when you first heard it, or maybe like your recent
yeah.
experience in hearing it. Yeah, take me back.
So crazy enough, my introduction to Fab was this album.
Hmm.
As a young kid, I remember a lot of my older cousins really liked Fab. Especially my girl cousins. Fab girls have always liked Fab. It was
Yeah.
always a thing, you know what I mean? And a lot of my older cousins, my cousin Nisi, I remember was listening to this album heavily, and Yeah, man. Like Trade It All was one of my first songs of Fabulous that I can remember, at least as far
Yeah,
as me listening to Fab's music. And it really, this project, man, I think really helped solidify. It's to me, it's a great entry point because it solidified Fab's style.
yeah,
And going back and listening to this going back to it for this review was actually my first time actually listening to the project in full in probably 10 years. And going back to it, man, it just one thing that stood out to me is how well Fabulous has always rapped. Like
hmm,
his rapping on here is still amazing. Like
yeah,
he came out the gate rapping well. Like there was no like a lot of artists you'll hear their first album and be like, yeah, they didn't necessarily weren't necessarily lyrically
hmm,
as good as they, ended up becoming later on. He started out the gate rapping well. And that's
yeah,
one thing that stood out to me on this project. Some of the production on here is not my favorite, and I don't think
yeah,
necessarily aged that well.
yeah,
Some of the beats, even on the intro, like not my favorite intro. I love his rapping because he's talking on there. But as far as the actual production, I'm like not crazy about it. Very simplistic, very minimalistic, if you will. Um, so some of the production on here, I don't necessarily think aged that well, but I think his rapping aged
yeah,
gracefully. Like he is rapping really well on all of these tracks, man. And yeah, from the time it released, I think this was a great debut album. And I'm willing to call it a classic just because of how big some of the joints were on here, and
yeah,
then they're really staples, standout Fab records. And I
hmm,
think that that's one of the reasons that I would count it as that. Do I like every song on here? Not at all. But the ones I like on here, I love. Like Can't Deny It featuring Nate Dogg is a classic
oh
record
man,
that you still hear today.
yeah,
Dope record. Same thing with Trade It Off featuring Jagged Edge, dope record. Get Right, another one. Um, yeah, man. And there's a lot of records on here. I like Keeping It Gangsta, hard. Um, yeah, man, there's some stuff out on here I like. Like I said, there's some skips on here for me, but overall,
yeah,
man, I think that this really solidified Fab's spot in hip hop, but also his style. And I think nobody else sounds like Fab. Even that whole da da da. I'm glad he stopped doing that. Yeah, I mean, it didn't necessarily age as well.
yeah,
The little
yeah,
stutter rap thing he was doing back then, but it's really solidified his style. And I think that this project did a good job of that. And that's really what you want your first album to do is be able to solidify your style, just like Nelly's Country Grammar album did, where it was like, this is his style. This is Nelly. Like he doesn't sound
yeah.
like anybody else. And I think Fab is the same way. I don't think Fab sounds like anybody else.
100%. And I love how he distinguished himself on one of these records, man. I can't think of it off top, but he was like, yo, y'all make it sound like I sound like Mace. Do I sound like a rapper who became a preacher? Like he says it on one of these records, man. So
Disrespectful.
yeah, but it was to separate himself because he did get a lot of
Yeah.
Mace comparisons back in the day. You can hear his
Yeah.
influences on this first album, as you can on a lot of artists' first projects, right?
Yeah.
But I think for what this is, man, this was a great entry point, man. Unfortunately, it dropped on 9/11, which is very
This
unfortunate.
dropped on 9/11.
Dropped on 9/11, bro.
Oh, Jesus. 2000.
So it's
You
marred
know
by
what?
like
One
a
of Hove's albums dropped on 9/11 too.
yeah, I think it was Blueprint. I could be wrong, but I think it's Blueprint.
I want to fact check that because
Yeah,
that is I did not know this dropped on 9/11. Yes, the blueprint.
yeah. So
That's
the
crazy.
Blueprint dropped on the same day. So it's like I think these are still massive songs like Traded Dog, Can't Deny It with Nate Dogg. These are classic songs. So I don't love the album. This isn't one of my favorite Fab albums, but it is a good album. I think it is well balanced. Personally, I would want to see, and I would go on to see more rapping on his albums and projects. Mixtapes, I'll set aside for the conversation because I think his mixtapes are his best projects to date.
100%.
You know what I mean? But I would say as far as like just like the album itself, man, I think it is well balanced. I think it's solid all around. And again, bro, to your point, man has been rapping like this for 25 years, bro. Like
Crazy.
this is crazy, man. Just the evolution he's taken on as an artist and as an MC, bro. I love to see it. We got rappers podcasting now, but people like Fab have never stopped rapping or keeping
Yeah.
up to this standard. So like, yo, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think that I completely agree. My favorite Fab music is mixtape Fab.
Yeah.
So Fabs has mixtapes that are better than a lot of artists' albums. If you've never listened to the
Yeah.
Soul Tape series alone, I would highly recommend listening to Soul Tapes.
Yeah.
Um, Amazing music. Even Cold Summers, the Cold Summers ones that he did were
Yeah.
hard. He got a bunch. Like if you just listen to Fab's mixtapes, and because Fab's mixtapes, I feel like he's not chasing a hit like how he kind of
Exactly.
is on his album. On his albums, he does a lot more R&B leaning stuff. He does a lot. He um he leans into different. It's like almost two different rappers. I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly, it
His
is. It
albums
is.
are completely different than his rapping and even his rapping, but also his content. I just think it's always completely different than his mixtapes. And maybe because his mixtape, he's always felt more free as far
Yeah.
as to be able to make whatever he really wants to make. In albums, he's catering to label standards and what would be a hit a little bit more maybe. That's my perspective on it. But
No, I agree 100%. Yeah, and I think he said that in on record. Like, yo, when it comes to the mixtape, there's no pressure. You know what I mean? I can just rap. It's almost like he leans into being a Brooklyn MC on his mixtapes and on his albums. He's
yes,
like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to
yeah,
describe it. I think you
it's like
hit it on
more
the head.
polished. Yeah, it's like his
Exactly.
album he becomes more polished. It's more yeah, that's the only word I could really use. Maybe more polished and like I said, he leans into the lady records more, which some of them are dope. But he definitely leans into more of the R&B collabs and
For
in
sure.
that bag. You know what I mean? But on his albums, I mean his mixtapes, he's rapping.
Rap.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but shout out Fab, man. Fab has been going crazy for a long time, and I think we need to respect him more. With the Mace comparisons, I see why he always got Mace comparisons just because of the laid back style.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's only a handful of rappers who do that laid back style really well, where they're rapping really calm and almost monotone,
Yeah.
but but bars. And I think Mace was that for the '90s. So I get the comparisons, but I definitely think Fab sounds different though.
He sounds different for sure, and he only separated himself more on portions of this album, but definitely albums like Real Talk, Street Dreams, and
Oh
everything
yeah,
after that. You know what I mean? So definitely, I heard some Nori in here only because of like the you know what I mean
yes, the production.
the Pharrell and Hugo production or whatever his name is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Chad, right? Yeah,
Chad, yeah, the Neptunes. There was
Neptune.
definitely a lot of yeah, I agree. I hear a
Mm.
lot of that here too. But I'm not when did Nori drop? I don't know which album
98.
came. Okay, yeah,
Super Thug came out in 98, maybe something like that.
yeah. I definitely hear some of that here too. That's why I said the production on here is not my favorite.
This is like my least favorite, but if I'm trying to transport myself into this time, I probably
It
would have
sounds
rocked
like
with it.
2000s though.
Yeah, I don't. It's
Some of
not
the
my
songs on here,
favorite, bro.
some of the songs on here like are like they sound like an era though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Can't Deny It sounds like an era of time.
But
Like
it's a classic sound like that. I love that sound. I love that sound, man. And
yes.
Nate Dogg, you can't go wrong with Nate Dogg. Come on,
Let
man.
me tell you, we don't talk about Nate Dogg enough.
No, we don't.
Nate Dogg is that's you talk about a legend. Like what he's been able to do on some of these hip hop
Hmm.
records that we love. You know what I mean? He paved the way for the other soon to come feature artists who were killing hooks. Like the
Yeah.
whether you want to go to the T Pains, whether you want to talk about the Drakes, whether you want to talk about who else was killing hooks? Akon at one
Yep.
point.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nate Dogg was the first killing the hooks like that.
He was, bro. He was, man.
Yeah. Yeah, R.I.P. man. But yeah. Definitely. If you've never heard any of Fab's older music, I personally would recommend the mixtapes over his albums. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Good to check out though,
for
for
sure.
sure. All right, man. We got one final topic we got to get through. And
A
this
big
is
one. Oh,
this is a big one, man. We want to talk about we'll start with artist biopics. So when we talk about biopics, Michael Jackson's biopic is coming out, and that's what made me think of this topic. Is
mhm.
because Michael Jackson biopic, I believe it's just called Michael, is releasing soon, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
made me think about and that's as a Michael Jackson. I don't even feel like I have to say that I'm a Michael Jackson fan. Who's not?
Who's
I
not,
mean,
bro? Yeah,
Honestly, that's one of the artists that's like, who doesn't love Michael Jackson's music?
come on.
I have a hot take as far as my favorite Michael Jackson album that is unpopular, but
What is it?
I'm a big
Dangerous?
no.
What?
My favorite Michael Jackson album is Invincible.
That's crazy as heck,
And
bro.
I and I and I stand 10
Okay.
toes down
All
on
right.
that being my
All right.
favorite Michael. I get why people go Thriller. Off
Uh,
the Wall is probably my second favorite.
okay.
So
Okay.
I get why people lean towards those just because the amount of hits they had on it. But I like R&B Michael is different.
Mm,
Invincible, you get butterflies, you get
yeah.
Heaven Can Wait, you get Rock My World.
I love
You
Rock My
it,
World too.
there. I mean, for those most people haven't heard Invincible in full.
They
So for
haven't, and I
anybody who
haven't.
have
I haven't. So that's why I
listen
laugh. Yeah, that's why I laugh.
listen to Invincible from top to bottom, and then talk that most of the Michael Jackson songs that I actually vibe to, because who really vibe in the Thriller? You know what I mean? Other than Halloween, you ain't really listening. I'm talking about the song Thriller, not the
The song,
album.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
song Thriller or Beat It, you ain't riding around to Beat It. Invincible got the songs that I actually ride around to that Michael Jackson made. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Even all of the slow shit, like I'm just check it out for anybody, any of
yeah.
the R&R fans who have not listened to Invincible. Just give it a shot.
And
Give it
that
a
was
shot.
after the hiatus because he took a hiatus after what was it
Yeah, after
Dangerous
Invincible.
or
After, after Dangerous, it was a hiatus, and then Invincible was like the comeback album.
the comeback album? Because he had dropped like two basically like compilation albums or whatever where he went on tour for in between that. So yeah,
And,
I'm
and
gonna visit it. I'm gonna check it out, man, and get
check
back to
check
you.
check
Got a
check out
review.
Invincible, bro. And you know the crazy thing is, there is a slight bias because that was the only Michael Jackson album that I was actually old enough where I have memory of me
Yeah.
going and buying it on release day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
so there is that. This is the
Uh-huh.
first Michael Jackson album I was really old enough to go and purchase from the store when it came out.
Mm.
So that could be a slight bias, but I listen to all Michael Jackson albums, so I'm just saying.
And
You
people
know what I
sleep
mean?
on Dangerous, bro. I don't know why people act
Dangerous is
like
a hard
Dangerous
album
wasn't
too.
hard. That was
Michael Jackson
hard.
don't have no bad album, so I mean,
None. None. You
none
may
at
have your
all.
favorites, but like even I don't know if
That's
this
why I
was
say Invincible is my favorite. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Was This Is It? Because the song I know there's a song this we don't have to dive too much, but like This Is It, which is a posthumous release. That's one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs, period. So,
This
bro,
Is It is a great.
phenomenal, bro.
So you want to
Phenomenal.
know my favorite one, and my girl actually put me on this. I had never heard this song before. One of his posthumous albums that he had is he got a joint called Chicago. That's hard.
Mm.
Highly
Bro,
recommend if you've never heard Michael Jackson Chicago. Do yourself a favor for everybody listening. Hard
I'll
record.
check it out. I'll check it out.
Hard record. I mean, he in his Billie Jean bag of like, you know what I mean? It's a girl who lied to him about her being single, and you know what I mean? But he talked in Chicago,
When in
unfortunately.
Chicago, it happens.
But he in his it happens. You know what I mean? This happens
Mm.
in Chicago. But he in his bag of the song hard though.
Man, I need to check it out, bro. I'm excited.
Hard record, man. Shout out Michael Jackson. But we digressed a lot. But this brings us to our topic of biopics. Michael Jackson biopic is being made, and it made me start thinking about hip hop biopics. So first of all, do you think what biopics that have been done on hip hop artists do you like? Which ones do you dislike? You know what I mean? Do you think that they've been done justice?
Yeah, I would say overall it's been 50-50. I'm gonna be honest. The one I think is
Um,
like the gold standard in my mind, because I probably haven't seen as many as other folks, but I would say NWA for me is the gold
I,
standard.
I agree.
Um, I think it was just properly done, and I think it helped that Dr. Dre, Ice Cube were actually on set. I think the other members, the living members of NWA, were also on set or had a
Yeah, I
hand
think
as
so.
well. So I think that helps. Sometimes I can like having those folks that are living could like sway too far left or right and could end up being a messy project or film. But I think it was for the better, man. I think this film overall had a great message. And to think that the director of Friday directed that seemed like two completely different directors. You know what I'm saying? Both classics, but two different styles.
Yeah,
But it made for a great film, bro. I would say as far as the biopics that I have not liked, I think it has to be Tupac. I do not like that. I think they did a real disservice to him. Was it as
yeah.
bad as people make it out to be? Probably. I don't know. Like I haven't seen it since it dropped that
So
year, but like it was pretty bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
so I could not agree more. NWA's is the gold standard to me. I think that out of all the hip hop ones was done the best.
Yeah.
I actually think Biggie's was okay too.
I think Biggie's was okay. It wasn't bad.
I think Biggie's was decent. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When I saw Biggie's, wasn't like disappointed by it. I think the acting
Exactly.
was good in it. I think that I thought it was solid. I liked Biggie's. I would agree. Now, Benny Boom, who directed that All Eyes on Me, is our fraternity brother. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and from
And
Philly. Hmm.
I didn't know he's from Philly. Learn
Went to
something new.
Temple too.
Red, oh
Yeah.
he's tied to us too much. Um, but I have to agree. I'm not gonna lie. All Eyes on Me let me down, and All Eyes on Me really let me down. Number one, the guy who played Tupac was that man looked as close to Tupac as you ever gonna find.
Honestly. Yeah.
That was, it was almost spooky. Like he looked almost too much like Tupac. Like that was the
Yeah.
I think they cast that role perfect. It wasn't that. To me, it was two things. It was the Snoop Dogg was terrible. Okay. I'm sorry. That was the worst Snoop Dogg
It was bad.
I've ever seen. You know what I
It was
mean?
bad.
That was pretty bad. Like the Snoop was bad, and I feel like it was the voice was dubbed over or
It
something. The
was.
voice was off. You know what I
It
mean?
was. Yeah.
And that threw me off also. And then it also was, man, it felt rushed. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It felt like it just was just jumping all over the place. And I get it. Tupac, it's hard to cover. Actually, I'm not even gonna give that out because Tupac only lived to 25, but so much happened
Yes. It was
within that time
documented.
frame.
Yeah.
There's documented, there's like big stuff that it's hard to fit it all in there. So I know he had a big task with that, but yeah, they got to redo Tupac. There needs to be another Tupac biopic. They got to hit redo on that because I don't think that one doesn't do Tupac's legacy enough justice.
It doesn't, man. There were so many aspects that was missing or just didn't hit quite the same. And
Yeah,
honestly, because of the rush job, it felt like the production of it was they I don't know, bro. It seemed like the money that was needed to tell this story wasn't really fully like utilized or put into a film of this magnitude about a global star, about a legend, man. That's
yeah,
how it felt. I would have, RIP to John Singleton, who was originally, I believe, tasked with taking on this story of the film before Benny Boom. I would have liked to see his interpretation of it because he's a more seasoned filmmaker. Benny Boom, as you know,
mhm,
started out doing music videos within hip hop.
yeah,
I would have liked to see it. There was like controversy surrounding it as far as the direction of the story under John Singleton's direction, but like I would have rather have seen that. You know what I mean? I think it would have did a better
yeah,
job, to be honest.
yeah. I have to agree there, and I think that, and I'm not gonna say too much because who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows if one day I want to sell this idea for Tupac biopics? I'm not gonna say too much, but I know the direction that they could frame, how they could frame it to do Tupac's legacy justice. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I think that having more information about his parents and who he was raised by, and that
yeah.
I feel like would have been a better way to frame it. But it was, yeah, that one that they have another Tupac biopic needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Yes, and properly done. And for people that may be listening or watching this and saying, "Well, it already happened. You can't do it again," bro. There was
Yes,
literally two Steve Jobs biopics, and that came out in like 5 years, bro. Like, yes,
yes,
you can
can
redo something if you
you
want
can
to.
100% do. There's already been a Michael Jackson biopic. You know what I mean? Then they're doing it again. They're doing it over. There is no rule that says you cannot redo a biopic.
Exactly. And guess what? Those people, those figures are so prominent in their industry and you know what I mean? That people will watch it. They'll watch it again. You know what I'm saying? When I
There's,
saw
it,
Ashton Kutcher as Steve Jobs, I said, this ain't it. So I watched someone else outdo Steve Jobs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it worked. It works.
I want to say weren't there two Aretha Franklin biopics in like the same 2 years, like in almost the
Oh,
same year.
there may
I
have
feel like it was.
been, bro.
I feel like they were almost back to back. I feel like there was one where Jennifer Hudson played, and there was another one where uh what's Shorty from Wicked?
Cynthia, her?
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah,
There's one with Cynthia Erivo playing her.
that's
I feel like they
that
came out.
doesn't
Hold
make
on, let me
any
see.
sense.
Aretha Franklin's came out in 2021.
Yeah.
Let me see when Cynthia Erivo's came out. Cynthia Erivo's let me see. Let me make sure I'm not. Let me make sure I ain't lying. No, she did. It was. If I'm not mistaken,
That'll be
yep,
crazy.
Aretha Franklin.
What is she
That
doing
was
playing
also
Aretha, bro?
2021.
What is she doing playing Aretha Franklin, bro?
Oh, who cast that? I don't know,
That is insane, bro. Doesn't make any sense.
man.
That
At
Jennifer
all.
Hudson makes sense. That does not make sense. That's wild.
Yep, she did. She did one for National Geographic. She would call it Genius Aretha. Yep,
Hmm.
and same year. The
Same
two
year
Aretha
too.
Franklin biopics, same year.
Interesting. Interesting. I haven't seen either one, so I can't speak on it. But I'll
Me
just say
neither.
that is interesting, bro. That
Yeah,
is
I've never seen either, but yeah, Cynthia Erivo playing Aretha Franklin is crazy work.
crazy.
I know she can sing, but that just don't
Nah, it
that
don't
just
make
don't
sense.
that just don't aesthetically make sense.
Nothing.
But to be fair, Denzel Washington looks absolutely nothing like Malcolm X, and he
Looks
murdered that role.
nothing like him, bro, but did a phenomenal job, bro.
And I didn't even think he acted so well, and I didn't even think about it
I
while
didn't even
watching
think about it.
while watching that film. I thought nothing of the fact that he looks nothing like Malcolm X. Same thing with what's my man's Black Panther who passed away? Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Same thing with him he played James Brown. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
then turned around and played Thurgood Marshall, who was like 4 shades lighter than him. You know what I
So
mean?
that third good is the one where I'm like, where were y'all going with this? He played Jackie Robinson, makes sense, right? But
But he
third
killed the Thurgood Marshall. But he killed that role. A lot of people haven't
that
seen the
speaks to your
Thurgood
talent
Marshall
level.
role.
If you're talented enough, you can make it work. People always act like you have to like look identical to the person. Bro, there's enough makeup, CGI, you know what I
Honestly,
mean?
it's way it's far more about mannerisms.
100%. It is.
Like
It is.
like the mannerisms are what it is. Like because if the mannerisms are right, and as long as y'all are somewhat similar in stature, I'd say like you can't be 300 pounds playing somebody who's really 120 pounds. That's not gonna make
Exactly.
sense. But like as long as y'all statures are similar and the mannerisms are there, I definitely think it's been done tastefully when the person looks nothing like. I don't think
100%.
I don't think Angela Bassett don't look nothing like Tina Turner either.
No, no, but she killed it because she's a transcendent talent, bro, and it just worked, bro.
It
She was
worked.
on her Proud Mary, yeah, like she killed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Shoot,
if the
Lawrence
if the
Fishburne looks nothing like Ike Taylor
literally nothing like Ike Turner at all.
at all, bro. That threw
At
me
all.
all
But
the
you
way
couldn't
off.
tell me he wasn't Ike Turner after watching that.
I still don't like bro, just because of how good a job he did, bro. I'm like, nah, bro. He beat women. It's like, nah. But yo, I'll give you one. So it's not rap, but it's reggae. The dude who played Bob Marley, like to that point, you don't even have to be from the same country or origin as this person. You know what I'm saying? To do a
That's a
decent job. He
fact.
actually did a decent job. Like I'm not
I
gonna
never
lie.
saw Bob Marley's biopic. Was it good?
It's good, bro. It's really
Okay, I need to check it
good.
out. I
And
didn't
the
check
dude
it
who
out.
did it is from the UK, bro. He killed it. And he also played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami
And he from the UK.
from the UK. And he played Bob Marley and Malcolm X, bro. And
There's a
killed
deeper
both of them.
conversation there that I want to have, but I don't want to have it on this show.
And I think
So,
I know where you're going. Yeah.
but I digress. Yeah, I know.
But
This is not the show for that. But there's another conversation there that needs to happen.
for sure. So what biopics would you want to see of like which artists or groups would you want to see?
So I want to see Tupac's redone.
Yep. Yep.
I want to see an Isley Brother documentary. That's my
Yes.
favorite singing group of all time. I want to see an Isley Brother documentary. The Isley Brothers have transcended so many generations, and Ron Isley has completely reinvented himself. And I just would love to see a biopic of the Isleys.
Yeah.
That's another one. As far as hip hop specifically, I would like to see a Nas documentary.
I would too.
I think Nas deserves a biopic at this point. I think I would like to see Nas. I know Nas is still kind of younger, and like even
Yeah.
looking at him, it's like he probably felt like he's too young to do it. But I feel like he's done so much that I think it could warrant a biopic for sure.
Yeah.
Those are the main one. You know what? I know we've gotten NWAs, but I wouldn't mind an Ice Cube biopic.
Okay.
I think Ice Cube's solo career and his time with NWA, but also his solo career, I feel like is interesting enough for a biopic as well. Yeah, those are the ones that stand out. Who would you want to see?
Man, it's tough. Shoot, there's so many people I think I want to learn more about though. It's tough. I think one that comes to mind, it would be a group. I think let me think group. So we had TLC, which actually I think is an underrated biopic or story. Whatever. I actually think it was
Mm.
underrated. But I would want us to redo Aaliyah's because whatever that joint was, a TV joint was,
Oh
we're gonna have to
man, let me
redo
tell
that one, bro.
you, that was awful. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie. That's time I never get back. I can't like they tried to do a biopic of Aaliyah without Aaliyah's music. Like what are we doing here?
what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Why even like I would have canceled the project from that point? Like, what are we doing?
At that point, it was like this should go, bro. Like there's no way. Yeah, Aaliyah now Aaliyah. I definitely think Aaliyah's needs to be redone for sure.
100%, 100%. And I know they're still like young too. I want to see Outcast. I want to see them.
Outcast would be a good one.
I want to see that, bro.
I want to see that because I seen them come up from the Dungeon family, and
Yeah,
I'm sure they had a bunch of arguments creatively along the way that would be
yeah,
interesting to hear. And yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, man. I want to see that.
We need an Outcast biopic for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking Chicago. Who do I want to? I think Yay. I think we need one. I'm sorry. Hate to break the news. He's
I
too
think we just
young.
don't.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think he's too young. I just think he got a lot more crashing out left in him. So I feel like we don't know where this is gonna go. So it's hard to do one of
yeah,
him unless you do a tie like just a period piece, like
yeah,
from like maybe childhood to like the college dropout or childhood to
yeah,
graduation. Like I feel like you gotta cut it off somewhere
yeah.
earlier
He has
to
so
make
many
it make.
phases, bro. Like he has so many phases. It's gonna be hard to narrow down for sure.
That's good. That'll be tricky. I definitely think something needs to be told about that. Jay Z.
Yeah, I was about to say Hove is immediately next after I thought about that. Yeah, got
Yeah, just 1,000%. Jay Z to make it from where he's from
to. Yeah,
to this is like, yeah, no,
yeah,
well, Jay Z 1,000% needs a biopic.
100%. And I'll tell you one that's super dependent on a really good cast to play one of the characters. I think it's gonna be pivotal. I want to see a Public Enemy one, but whoever plays Flav
Yes,
gotta hit it on the head, bro. They gotta get
they got
Flav right.
they got to get a comedian.
They might have to, bro. What if
I think you
DC
got to
Young
get it.
Fly plays Flavor Flav, bro? That'd be crazy, bro.
That's good casting right there. I ain't gonna lie. DC Young
Yo,
Fly's flavor might work. That could work.
insane.
You
Yeah,
got to get a comedian because they got to hit that nail on the head. I agree because you
yeah,
can mess that up.
yeah. You could. Chuck D, he's pretty straight. Like I feel like you can get him decently well, but Flav is gonna be he's the wild card, bro. That's gonna be the toughest one.
Yeah, Public Enemy would be a great one actually. Public Enemy would be another great one because you get a lot of the controversy with their music too.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, man, there's still a lot left on the table for biopics of hip hop artists who need that. I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to see a Missy Elliott biopic.
I would love that.
I feel like I don't know, and I think hers would be dope because I don't feel like I know much about Missy's like outside of music,
Yeah,
which I'm sure is intentional. I don't feel like I know that much about Missy's upbringing,
yeah,
her, what I mean, we know she felt had different health scares,
yeah,
health issues. So I feel like I don't know a lot about Missy, which is always a cool biopic too, when you don't know their story at all. Like I
yeah.
don't really know much about Missy, and I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot about Missy, but we know that she's just like creative genius. So I think hers could be dope too.
100%. And on that note too, Lauren Hill, I feel like is gonna be an interesting one.
Lauren Hill has to have a biopic.
It has to happen, bro. It has to.
We need a Lauren Hill biopic because her life is interesting too.
Very interesting. Yeah, man. There's so many dope hip hop stories that haven't yet been told in this way, bro. And I'm excited for it to happen. I'm gonna
Yeah,
push for it to happen.
we got to sell some scripts, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
We got to that might be the next step because there's a lot left on the table as far as biopics that need to be made. Meanwhile, y'all keep remaking the same movie 3 4 times. Yeah, I mean Hollywood is getting lazy. You know what I mean? We need
beyond lazy.
some new fresh stories, bro. We don't want to keep seeing remakes and revisions and y'all keep giving sequels to stuff people ain't even asked for.
That's
You know what I'm
what I'm
saying? So
saying, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting lazy, man. So Hollywood needs to tell some of these stories for sure.
Absolutely, man. All right,
Yeah,
bro. Hitting
hidden
hits,
hit.
man. You want to hitting hits?
Yeah, man. Let's go. Look, I gotta go through the lights, man. Let's see what hidden hits. What we got, man. What I've been listening to. Um, I'm gonna go. So this is gonna be one that is one that I really like. I think it's a dope story too. But Razcast, for those who aren't
Okay.
familiar with Razcast, hip hop legend, conscious rap legend, actually one of the artists, man. Some people ask, do you feel like there's somebody who you wish you had put more into the book that's coming out soon? And I'm like, yeah, Razcast. Like, I
Mm.
just couldn't find a way to implement them into like the sections that we were writing. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, but one day. Razcast dope, but his joint called Home Sweet Home. If you listen to it, you will hear that it is the exact same beat as We Gonna Make It from
Mm.
Jadakiss, because there was a lot of controversy between Alchemist possibly allegedly selling the same beat twice. And so it ended up on two different albums. But a lot of people don't know about Razcast's joint called Home Sweet Home. So that's definitely one that I
Wow.
recommend. Razcast is different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just in
Yeah.
general. Um, Lyrical genius. If you've ever heard of this group called Coach Contra,
Mm.
dope hip hop group that's out right now. Two of the members are actually his sons,
Oh
which is
wow.
I just found that out not too long ago. I was like,
That's
oh, I
crazy.
had no idea those were Razcast sons. It makes sense of why they so dope lyrically.
Mm.
But that's definitely one that I want to recommend for sure. I also want to recommend. Let's go. I'm gonna go a older joint, and this is going to be one that is A Ball and MJG and Lloyd. A lot
Mm.
of people don't know about this record, but it's called Forever. Um, dope joint, dope joint. Lloyd to me is an underrated R&B talent. I've always said this. We don't talk about Lloyd enough,
Mm.
but very dope record. Highly recommend checking that one out as well. And then one more for hidden hits that I'll give is actually a Lil Wayne joint called "Let It All Work Out."
Mm. Love that
I
record.
believe that was on the Carter Five.
Yeah, I think so. One of my
I
favorite
think that's
records off that album.
absolutely, yeah, another dope Wayne record. With one of the few where we get Wayne talking a little bit more vulnerable and more thought provoking lyrics in there. So
Staying
that
on topic.
staying on topic, which is
I love Wayne, but
which
come
is
on.
difficult for Wayne these days. Yes, yeah, for sure. But
That's
yeah,
a
that's my hidden hits. What you got?
Yo, so I was listening. I just got familiar with this Japanese hip hop artist, A Witch, who RZA is really pushing. Like he executive produced her album that dropped in November last year. So I was listening to a lot of her records leading up to this episode actually, and I think it's worth mentioning. She has a song called "Hold It Down" with West Side Gun, "Wax On Wax Off" with ASAP Ferg and Lupe Fiasco. A combination I didn't know that I wanted to hear, but when I heard it,
Mm.
I understood. And then Butcher Shot with
ASAP Rocky and Lupe got a
Ferg and
joint.
Lupe.
Ferg and Lupe got a joint out.
Even randomer, more
That's
random.
that's real random. I gotta check that out.
It's dope, bro. When it comes to like certain artists that aren't maybe don't come from areas necessarily as rooted in hip hop as the ones we're most familiar with, I'm kind of hesitant to listen to them. I'm trying to undo that in 2026 and beyond. So when I listened to A Witch, I was like, hold on, bro. Like, she really rapping, bro. Like, this is crazy. And rapping
Mm.
from her perspective, her experience growing up in Japan, rather than maybe somebody
Mm.
else's,
Yeah.
appropriating someone else's. So I thought it was dope, man. Yeah, that pretty much makes up my hit and hit list. I was listening to a lot of old Fab um leading up to the episode two. This shouldn't be a hit and hit. This is a pretty obvious hit, but Make Me Better, bro, by Fab and Neo, bro. One of the best R&B hip hop collaborations in the last
One
15 some odd years.
1000%.
Bro, it's crazy. And it's crazy how algorithms work because I just saw a clip of Neo talking about the making of this song, which was originally
Mm.
for Hove. Hove and Beyonce were
Really?
in the studio when Neo was in the studio. He began writing to a beat produced by, I forgot the name. And as he was watching Beyonce and Jay-Z, that's what inspired the lyrics to Make Me Better, like the hook. And that's how the song happened.
Wow.
It's
Neo
crazy, man.
watching Hove and Beyonce inspired Make Me Better.
is crazy and
That's
inspired
hard.
Fab's to me one of Fab's biggest songs ever. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, 100%. And man, Neo is songwriting,
he's
just
phenomenal.
overall, just genius. You know what I mean?
A
He's
hundred
gonna go
percent.
down as one of the greatest songwriters of this generation too.
Easily, man. Easily.
Dope.
Yeah, bro. You got any nice nonsense?
Let me see, man. I might have some nice nonsense. You know what I mean? Because I've been dibbling dabbling into some nonsense lately. Let me see. I'm gonna go Mo3 outside.
Okay. Okay.
That's gonna be one. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. Let me see, man. I thought I had some more nonsense I've been listening to lately. Maybe I haven't been liking my nonsense on here. Um. I'm gonna go. This one ain't really that nonsense, but I'm gonna go G Herbo. Where would I be?
Okay.
Off the Lil Herb album. Hard.
Fire. Fire
Um,
joint.
hard. And then let's see if I'm also going to go. Let's do man, that's one more that I had. Let's do Offset Haunted by Fame.
Okay. Hard joint.
Yeah, I thought that joint was hard too. So I think though that's my nice nonsense.
Nice, man. Nice. I was on a West Coast kick. I was listening to Dom Kennedy leaning. I just like Dom is one of those underrated West Coast artists. I feel like doesn't get enough credit. You know what I mean? People will listen to him and they
Hmm.
hear him more so as a featured artist, but as a standalone, like he's solid, man. He doesn't do too much. His lyrics aren't too complex. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty
Yeah,
straight shooter when it comes to like the lyrics is concerned, but I think he makes good West Coast music. So I was listening to Leanin'. Also,
nice.
She's Not Around by Jay Worthy, Larry June, and London Drugs. Jay Worthy is like
Mm,
just got that playalistic sound that the Bay
yeah,
Area, other parts of the country itself like produce that just produce it really well. You know what I'm saying? And so She's Not Around is just a classic. Put it on your Bluetooth and your whip and just ride out to it type of song. So yeah, those are
nice.
my nice nonsense entries right there.
All right. And there's one more that I got. Let me get the name of it because I don't want to mess it up. It is, and I'm gonna shout out my girl because I will say that she put me on this one because I heard her playing it and I was like, I did not know that they did a song together. It is Big Crit and Meg The Stallion have a joint together.
Mm,
And it is called uh Miami Blue.
okay,
Hard, hard joint, hard joint. Made the Stallion, Big Crit, Miami Blue. That's another one of the nice nonsense that I'm gonna recommend.
dope man, dope. Man. This is a good list, man. Good episode, bro. Solid.
Dope episode, man. For those who are not following us on social media, follow us on TikTok, Instagram at Rap and Reason. Also, make sure that you are pre-ordering our book, Raps of Resistance: How Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole Reignited a Hip Hop Tradition. A book revolved around conscious rap and the contributions and impact of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar and their stories. So make sure y'all go ahead pre-order that. Subscribe on YouTube if you're not subscribed, which most of y'all who are watching our stuff are not subscribed. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on there. If you listen on audio platforms, Apple, Spotify, make sure y'all give those 5-star ratings, man. And we'll keep giving you all more episodes, man. This is episode 72. We out.
We out.